Today, I'm sharing the secret strategies of top affiliates who are closing sales like never before in 2024. You will learn what sets them apart from the rest. They have conversion rates 4 to 5 times higher than average affiliates. Now, these strategies can make all the difference between being a weak closer and a strong closer. Plus, if you have an affiliate program, if you're an affiliate manager, you'll learn the strategies to share with your affiliates so they can make both of you a lot more money. Welcome to the Affiliate Guy podcast. If you want to grow your income, serve your tribe, and enjoy all the benefits of affiliate marketing and having your own affiliates, you're in the right place. Thanks for joining me today. Let's get started. So every year we do an extensive survey of the marketing methods that affiliates are using to succeed with their promotions. And so when we do this, we don't focus on the affiliates who have those huge email lists, right? We're not focused on the affiliates who have 100,000 plus people on their email list. Those folks, they're dominating the affiliate contest. They're finishing, number 1, number 2, always top 10. And we don't focus on them because their secret strategy is have 300,000 people on your list. Look, it's really easy to make $250,000 when you have 250,000 people. That's actually not that remarkable. So we don't focus on them. And we don't focus on the affiliates who make 2 sales. We're not focused on them. Who we focus on are the affiliates that have small to medium-sized lists. They've got enough subscribers where they can actually get some results. If you've got 82 subscribers and you make 3 sales, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's not necessarily, you're not necessarily going to go from 82 subscribers and 3 sales to 820 subscribers and 30 sales, right? That usually doesn't work like that. But we focus on those people who've got lists, 2,000-3,000 people, upwards of 35 to 50,000 people, but they compete with the quote unquote big dogs of the internet marketing world, right? These are the folks who have lists 3 to 100 times smaller than their competitors, and yet they find themselves in the top 20 on some of the major affiliate leaderboards. So we want to look at them because these are the ones that are converting at a rate typically 3 to 10 times higher than other affiliates. These are the ones who, they might have 200 opt-ins and yet they make 20 sales versus somebody else has 2,000 opt-ins and makes 25 sales. Yeah, the second person made more sales, but they closed at a much lower rate. And so every year we've done this study. I want to identify what are these, there's typically between 15 and 30 of them. What do they have in common with each other? And what do they have in common that differentiates them from the other affiliates who close a much lower percentage of their sales? And so what we did, is we went through and we analyzed what were they doing? What are they doing? And what we found this year were the 5 secrets that are working in 2023, the second half of 2023 through about right now in 2024. What are the 5 secrets of high converting affiliates? Now they're similar to what we've found in the past. We've run this same study every year, but this year the numbers were even more dramatic, meaning these methods are even more relevant in 2024 than they were 9 years ago, than they were even 3 years ago. So we focused on those top converters. Like I said earlier, what do I mean by top converter? In any given affiliate promotion, if you look at the top 10 affiliates, there's always going to be 3 to 5 that convert 3 to 5 times better than the rest of the top 10. In other words, a few affiliates convert a much higher percentage of their leads into sales than the others. And even among the top 10, like you might have 4 affiliates who convert 8% of their leads into sales, while the rest of the top 10, the other 6 are 1 to 3%. It happens in every single launch, every single contest that we run, every single affiliate promotion, every single month. And so I dug in. I started digging in 9 years ago now and learning what actually works. So if you've listened to the results of this study in past years, I've published the results of this about every 2 years. You'll notice some similarities, but there are some new findings in 2024 and some from past years that didn't make the cut this year. There are some things that I've recommended in the past that just aren't working quite as well. So even if you've heard, there might be a 60, 70% overlap between what I'm going to share with you now and years past. Cool. Listen for the other 30 to 40% and listen for the ones that are working now. These are what's working right now in affiliate marketing. Again, I mentioned at the top, If you're an affiliate manager, listen up and share these with your affiliates. Okay, let's jump right in. Secret number 1. All right, listen to this. Top converters send an average of 5.9 emails in the last 48 hours. This number has consistently gone up every year for the past 6 or 7 years. When we first did the first couple years, we did this study, it was pretty much the same for the first 2-3 years. And then it started inching up. And I shared these in 2020, and it was 5.3 in 2020. And it was up to 5.8 last year, is now 5.9. And I'll just tell you, without fail, this secret has the biggest impact on your affiliate sales. The top marketers email an average of 5.9 times in the last 48 hours of a promotion, compared to only 1.9 times for everyone else. That number, it literally seems like every year bounces back and forth between about 1.8 and 2. It is pretty consistently in the 1.8 to 2. In fact, I don't think it's ever been anything else. It's been 1.9 since 2020. It's been 1.9 every year compared to 5.9. That is 3 times more emails. Even if you look at the top affiliates of the top affiliates, right? We studied about 40 affiliates. If you took them and divided them in half, those who converted it 5 times or more than the average and those who converted it 3 times or more. So basically, we're going to divide them in half, right? The top sent an average of 6.9, and the kind of the bottom of the top sent an average of 5.1. And so even amongst the top converters, the top were almost at 7 over the last 48 hours. Now, I know what you're thinking. I could never email 5 or 6 times in 48 hours. But here's the thing. It will make you a lot more sales with very little negative impact. I have proven it with my own email list. So here's some numbers from an email promotion. I've shared these in the past, but this from a specific promotion where I tested this out a few years ago. I sent 2 emails. I made $4,800. I sent 3 emails. I made $6,200. A little bit of a jump, but not dramatic. 4, $9,400. 5, $11,000. This is the last day only. And when I saw those numbers for the first time, we immediately began emailing 5 times in the last day. And we've since increased it during some promotions. And so later I thought, well, 5 worked so well. What would happen if we sent 10 emails on card close day? Crazy, right? Well, that crazy led to us finishing 3rd in a huge promotion. We won more than $30,000 in commissions and prizes. We beat out affiliates who had lists 15, 20, sometimes 35 times bigger than ours. And we only had 1 person unsubscribed. 1. We lost 1 person who'd never bought anything from us that was essentially completely useless to us in terms of revenue to our business. And we made probably an extra $10,000 to $20,000. 10 emails one day, 1 unsubscribed. Not only that, but I often have people send me emails to thank me for sending multiple emails towards the end of a promotion. They tell me they missed the earlier emails, they got busy, they were grateful for the reminder. And so I'm going to share why did we only get 1 unsubscribed? I'm going to share why in a little bit. So keep listening. You got to learn all 5 of these secrets here. But for now, just know that the biggest key to more affiliate sales is sending more emails in the last 48 hours. If you struggle with sending too many emails, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to a video that I did. I think it's called something like, if you struggle with sending too many emails, watch this video. Like, seriously, the name says it all. If that's a struggle for you, watch that video. You will learn how to send more emails, okay? Secret number 2, the top converters' emails are shorter than everyone else's, and they get shorter and shorter and shorter as the deadline approaches. So not only do these top closers send a lot of emails, but the emails they send are usually shorter than others' affiliates' emails, and they get shorter and shorter as the deadline gets closer and closer. In other words, as the scarcity increases, email length decreases. Email length decreases as the scarcity increases, all right? I found that the average length of the end of promotion emails from top converters, now if you go back to 2020, it was 121 words. And it was pretty consistent over the previous 5 years. It was like 121 in 2015, 121 in 2020. We're now down in the 116 word range. That's the average. So it's, about 3, 4, 5% shorter compared to just under 200 words, 199 words for everyone else. We actually found that the everyone else group has gone up a little bit. And I have a theory about that. I'm not going to share, but I have a theory on it. I'll just say it. I think it's due to ChatGPT. I think some of the lazier people that aren't closing well are kind of packing it in. And the old saying, if I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter. If they'd had more time, they would have written a shorter email, but they used ChatGPT. And so they end up with this 220 word. It's just too long for a near the end email. So the high converters numbers are down to compared to 2015, 2020, but the non-closers are now back over 200 after going down for a little bit pre-ChatGPT. Again, that's just my hypothesis. So of the top converters, 34% of the top converting emails are less than 100 words. I mean, these numbers they don't lie. Of the average to bad closers, the top closers, their emails are just a hair over half the length. So the key to your emails in the final 48 hours is to keep them short and sweet. Your only goal at that point is to get them to click through to the sales page or to your bonuses page. So focus on keeping them shorter than your average email length. So for you, that might be 75 to 100 words. I don't know. If you typically write really long emails, short for you might be 200 words. But the key is to try much shorter emails in the last 48 hours of promotion and see what works for your audience. All right, secret number 3, top converters use their opt-in list. Now, I talked earlier, they email more, but here's the thing, they don't email everyone on their list. And one of the reasons why I'm able to send 10 emails in a day, 5, 6, 7, 8 emails over the last 2 days consistently on card close days because I use my opt-in list. I do not email every single person on my entire email list. So an opt-in list, it's the list of people who have opted in to any of the free pre-launch content. Some promotions, this isn't relevant, but most it is. And so if they do a webinar before the card opens, if they do a workshop, anything like that, a challenge, if they opted into that, then this is your opt-in list. Here's how you get your opt-in list. You ask for it. That's it. You ask the affiliate manager for it. If they're any good at their job, a good affiliate manager, so attention, they will share this proactively. All right, we provide them to our affiliates proactively. And there's a whole system for that. I don't have time to get into it that makes it really easy. But the worst case is if you're an affiliate, you ask for it and they give it to you. They should want to give it to you. Yes, it takes work. When we do it, it takes us, if we got 500-600 affiliates who have opt-ins and we only have a couple of days to get them to them really that makes any sense, it's a lot of work. Our team, basically, we have usually 2 people working round the clock for an entire day to get everyone their opt-in list. It's like we invest a lot of money in that. That's one of the benefits to hiring a team like ours versus because you can't do it at your own. There's no way one person can do it on their own. It's impossible. It just takes too long. But the idea here is I want to give it to them because I know that if I give it to them, they will promote more. All right. They will promote more. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to an episode I did. If you want to learn how to best use your opt-in list, listen to that episode. I share some of the key ways you can use your opt-in list to close more sales once the card open. And the reason this strategy works so well is that you're focusing on the people who they raised their hand. They said, I am interested in this topic that you are promoting. They are your most engaged. They're the most warmed up people. They probably attended some of the pre-launch stuff. They maybe attended the webinar or they watched the webinar replay or they attended the workshop or they read the ebook. But at the very least, they raised their hand, they entered their email address and they said, I'm at least a little bit interested in this topic. And as a result, they're very unlikely to unsubscribe when you email them about that same topic. They're very unlikely. In 2015, we found that only 56% of top converters and 14% of the lower converters used their opt-in list. Now that difference was amazing. Huge reason why some affiliates were converting so much better than others. In 2020, we found that 77% of the top converters were using their opt-in list. I definitely heard from a few of them that said that when I told them about this, that helped them to do that. And 13% of the lower converters were using them. All right. Now, 2024, 84% of the top converters are using them. 15% of the lower converters are using them. So the lower converters, it's pretty much stayed the same, just a little bit north of 10%. But every year, it seems like the top converters, more and more of them are using their opt-in list. And that stat right there is one of the big reasons why the top converters continue to mail more. It's gone up from 5.3 to 5.9. That's a half an email. We're a couple years away from an entire one email more. And so why? Big part of that is because they're using their opt-in list. Now, one word of caution here. Remember that you can only email people who've signed up for your email list. So your opt-in list might include some people who opted in through social media or ads or whatever, but you can only email them if they are on your email list. So the best way, and I don't know every system tech setup, the best way, and if you need help, like consult your ESP, your email service provider, and ask them how to do this, is you upload your opt-in list and then you tag them or segment them, how, depending upon the company you work with. And then that will basically automatically remove anyone who's not subscribed to your list. So if I have 500 opt-ins and I upload them into our account and only 400 of them are on the list, it'll tag them and it's like, here are the 400 that are left, basically. Those other 100, it'll just kind of delete them, I guess. So that's how we do that. That's the easiest way to do that. But use your opt-in list. All right, the fourth secret. The top converters are hyper-targeting their promos, and they're allowing subscribers to opt out of specific campaigns. This is the second kind of like the opt-in list thing was part A of how do we mail more. This is part B. This easily allows you to email 5 to 10 times in a single day for an affiliate promotion with no downside. So first, it starts with hyper-targeting your promo. If we know, based on past history, based on segmenting and tagging inside of our email account, that somebody is very likely to not be interested in a promotion, we will remove them. All right. Now, we might only remove 0.5% of people on any given promotion. Sometimes it could be as high as 20%, but it might only be 0.5%. But here's the thing. Now I know, if I know confidently that 0.5% is not interested in this offer, then I can be more confident knowing that I'm emailing people who might be. So an example of that would be if you're promoting a health product, and I'm making this up on the fly, but let's say you've got a fitness product and you're promoting a product that is specifically targeted to people over 60, women over 60. And let's say that's 80% of your audience, but through some segmenting, because of some other stuff that you've done, that 10% of your audience is male. You take them out. Or if you want to, this is one way, you'd be like, hey, if you have a spouse or somebody, you could still promote it, but typically we just take them out. And the other 10% is women under the age of 55. Now, you said 60, Matt. Yeah, because you might have somebody pegged as a 57-year-old, but that was 3 years ago. Maybe they're 60. You could still promote this, right? So there's a little bit of leeway. But 20% of, your audience doesn't fit. We take them out. So even before we focus on just the opt-ins, we only promote affiliate offers to the segments of our audience that we think are most interested in them. And sometimes that may only be 20, 30% of your list. Sometimes it might be nearly 100, like I said. Usually it's in the 75, 80% range. This allows us to be confident that the message we are sending is for the recipient, which makes our messaging easier, makes it more focused. You can base this on previous engagement with content and promotions. So for instance, if someone has attended a Facebook Live about product launches, I know that Jeff Walker's product launch formula is a good promo for them. If they've opted out of content about product launches multiple times, I know they're not interested. So that might only be 13 people, but I'll remove those 13 people. Secondly, we allow people to self-segment by opting out of specific campaigns whenever they want. So basically, we send an email promoting an offer and we say, hey, not interested in learning how to launch your product? Click here and I won't share anything else about Jeff Walker's product launch formula. But you'll still get our super awesome affiliate marketing info, right? When someone clicks on that, they're tagged as out for that promotion in our email system, and they automatically don't get any more emails about it. I mean, that email might be scheduled at 2 p.m. today. If they click on that link at 1:58, they do not get that email at 2 o'clock, but they still get our regular email. So it removes, before tagging, you had two options: continue to get emails you don't want, or the nuclear option, which was unsubscribe. So now this meets in the middle. And we'll have hundreds of people say, I'm not interested in this particular promotion. I know the people who are left either are really interested or they just haven't read any of the previous emails. So they'll have an opportunity with each successive email to click on that, take me out of this promo, right? In 2015, to give you some perspective, top converters reported only doing this in 28% of their affiliate promotions. So only 28% were doing this. Other affiliates did it 11% of the time. And part of these numbers back in 2015, we're talking 9 years ago, was due to technical limitations. In the last 9 years, we have come a long way in terms of segmenting and targeting, and the numbers show. In 2020, top converters reported using segments for targeting affiliate promotions 62% of the time. Other affiliates were still only doing it 18% of the time. Back in 2015, this was an advanced email marketing technique. Today, it's super commonplace, super easy to do. Almost any system, MailChimp, ConvertKit, you name it, will allow you to do this. So 2024, top converters are doing this almost 80% of the time, 79% of the time. Guess what? Other affiliates still stuck under 20, 19% of the time. A 1% increase in the last 4 years, not a big increase. So again, you see this gap widening between sophisticated marketers and unsophisticated marketers. But using this strategy has been a game changer for us. It will be for you too. So use this to your advantage. Show your affiliates how to use it as well. All right, the final secret that was true of all of those top converting affiliates is that the top converters go the extra mile in their affiliate promos. One of the biggest trends I've seen over the last decade plus in affiliate marketing, and it's particularly noticeable among the top converters, is just the willingness of someone to go the extra mile in their affiliate promotions. Now, going the extra mile, I'm going to share 4 strategies in this, but overall, it's just an attitude that says, I've talked about this so much, right? Going all in on your affiliate promotions. If you want to break out of the clutter in these large affiliate promos, you've got to go the extra mile. And there's 4 things here that it requires. Number 1, creative thinking. You've got to be creative. Think outside the box. Number 2 is more effort. You got to hustle a little bit. Number 3 is a willingness to try new things. And the 4th one is a willingness to fail. All those go hand in hand. Now, there are 4 specific strategies I've seen dramatically increase over the last 9 years. They increased from 2015 to 2020 when I last did this episode, basically. They've increased even more since then. The first one is affiliates calling prospects. Number 2, affiliates using live chat. Number 3, affiliates creating their own pre-launch content. Number 4, affiliates creating a community for a promotion. Back in 2015, only 23% of top converters used even just one of these strategies. Literally 0% of the lower converters did. In 2020, 87% of the top converters used at least one of them. This is 5 years after I started teaching this, right? 58% used 2 of them, 39% used 3, 15% used all 4. And yet the lower converters, 0% used 3 or more. So obviously 0% used 4, 4% used 2, 6% of them used one of them. This right here represented the largest gap between top converters and low converters. It's the same in 2024. In 2024, 92% of the top converters used at least one of these strategies. 59% used at least 2 of them. 44% used 3 of them. And 15% again used all 4. Now, of the lower converters, the numbers are pretty similar. We did have 12% use at least one of them, but only 6% used 2, and still 0% used 3 or more. Again, largest gap between top converters and low converters. Now, here's how to use each of these strategies, all right? The first one is to call your prospects. Call your prospects. I think I did an entire episode on this, but I'm going to give you the quick version. This works mainly because of the wow factor, right? Now, the biggest thing that you need to know about this, these are pretty quick calls. You get on the phone with the prospect. The average call is about 7 or 8 minutes long. And you can say, well, I don't want to do phone calls. Okay, then don't. But I'm going to tell you, I spend 7 or 8 minutes on the phone and I make an $800 to $1,200 commission. What else can you do with your time? Let's say I make 6 calls in an hour and I close 5 of them, which is a pretty fair number because I usually close almost every call. And I make an average of, let's go low. I'm going to make 5 and go $800 per sale. I made $4,000 in an hour. If you currently make over $4,000 per hour, don't do this. Don't do it. I'm going low. Usually between closing the sales, making the commission, and also getting some of the prizes and bonuses, I may be making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 an hour. That's worth it. Now, the key is to call the right people or to have them call you. So let's say you're promoting a course. You have 1,000 people. I'm just using round numbers, right? Opt into the pre-launch content. So 1,000 people opt into the pre-launch content. You're not going to email all 1,000 of those. You're not going to call all 1,000 of those. You're not going to email the 500 of them who never clicked to the sales page. You're not going to call the buyers. You're not going to have them call you. They've already bought. You're not even going to have the people who've clicked once to the sales page but don't buy. Out of those 1,000, you'll probably have between 50 and 100 who click multiple times to the sales page but don't buy. Think about this. If someone clicks multiple times to the sales page but doesn't buy, they are highly interested, but they're reluctant. And what I have found about these people is it usually comes down to one question that holds them back, one hang up, one doubt, one weird situation specific to them. Like, does this work for single moms who live in Ireland? Yes. And when you call them and address that, the sale is easy. So you send them an email that says, hey, I'm available for the next 4 hours. The card's closing today on such and such offer, and I'm here to answer questions. You might only send it to 12 people. I'm thinking of one affiliate specifically in the Stu McLaren's launch in 2022. And she had like 18 people that she reached out to. She closed 16 of the 18 people. Maybe 5 of them would have bought otherwise. So she made an extra 11 sales, $800 commission. Again, almost $10,000 extra that she made. That's pretty amazing if you think about it. The second thing, so real quick, affiliate managers. Help your affiliates with that list. Get them that list. We call them hot prospects. Get them their hot prospect list. All right, number 2 is to use live chat or some other form of DMing, right? Communicate. It could be text messages. It could be Facebook Messenger, but some way that's in real time. Give them a way to contact you in real time. This is the ultimate objection crusher. It's just like telling them to call you, but you can put it directly on a page. Now, you can have them call you on a page too. I just don't typically like to do that and get a bunch of random questions early on where I'm on the phone for 5 to 10 minutes answering everything. I like to do the phone call on the very last day, on the afternoon of the very last day. So this is like a throughout the open cart phase. You have this objection crusher, whether it's live chat. Again, you could put a text message number, it could be a Google Voice number, or it could be an app like Community or something like that. It could be just Facebook Messenger. But you set that up on the page. You say, hey, you got questions? Reach out to me. Again, a 5-minute chat, and you close a $2,000 sale and get an $800 commission. What a great use of your time. What a great use of your time. Now, make sure that you know the product well, because if you start getting product questions, you got to be able to answer them. All right. There have been a few times where I had to go over to the live chat on the actual company sales page and ask them the question I was getting asked, and then go back and copy and paste that, and it worked. You think, well, why don't they just use the live chat on that page? Well, because they chose yours. So again, 5, 6, 7 minutes of answering questions, and I made a bunch of money. All right. The third way that you can go the extra mile is creating your own pre-launch content. We've seen a huge increase in this strategy over the past 8-9 years. Even over the past 3 or 4 years, it's increased even more than it did over 2020. When someone is launching or doing an affiliate promotion where they've got great pre-launch content, it makes all the difference. But I've seen some like, I just cannot promote it. I'm like, your pre-launch content is terrible. It is so bad. I've also seen some remarkable stuff that made me proud to promote, and it converted like crazy. But one of the strategies I first saw this done in John Meese, back in Ray Edwards' launch in 2016, he created his own video series to lead people into Ray's sales funnel. And it worked incredibly well, right? It worked out unbelievably well. And it doesn't have to be super intensive, super complicated. At the very least, you can create like any type of content in advance of the launch to just whet your audience's appetite, warm them up, or address any objections they might have before they go into the pre-launch content of whatever you're promoting, right? Your audience knows, likes, and trusts you. So take advantage of that. This is all about going the extra mile. So yes, it requires a little bit of extra work, but it doesn't have to be super complicated. They don't have to be super produced videos. You could do them on your phone. You have a 4K video recorder in your pocket right now. Like, use the magic rectangle. So just to give you some ideas, it might be as simple as a checklist to complement the actual promotions pre-launch content, right? A PDF or an infographic of your key takeaways from the PLC. It could be a series of blog posts or podcasts or just short videos or emails that lead into it. It could be a bonus training. So hey, if you opt in, this is also like an opt-in bonus. If you opt in to Ray's training, or if you opt in to so-and-so's training, I'm going to give you this special bonus. Interact with the pre-launch content. Put it to use. Share your story. Like, this is very common that I see people doing with paid courses, but not with free trainings. So do more than just send your audience to someone else. Go the extra mile before the sales even start. And the last way to go the extra mile is to create a community. One of the best ways to promote something is just to create a movement around it, to create a community around it. And this is another strategy that's increased dramatically in large part due to the popularity of Facebook groups. In 2015, less than 5% of top converters created a group for an affiliate promotion. In 2020, over a third did. Now, of the low converters, it was consistently at basically 0%. It was 0%. And then 2024, we weren't much higher than 2020. We're about 40%, but of the low converters, it's still basically at 0%. None of the low converters are doing this. The high converters, almost, close to half of them are, and it's continuously going up every year. It's inevitable that people start buying because they're a part of a community. When some people start buying, they go in, I'm so excited to join, others follow suit, right? This is psychology 101. It's a powerful force. And not only do you serve your audience in a creative way, but you also make more commissions. And that's another win-win. And I think this strategy is going to continue to grow and grow as more and more people are joining Facebook. More and more people are willing to join groups. And for the right thing, and it's a very short time typically. This is not join a group for 5 years. It's join a group for a couple of weeks. It's a little pop-up group. So I think this strategy is going to continue to go up and up and up. Now, a few of the other strategies that have worked well, but I didn't include them. I'm not going to go super in depth into them just because, we don't have a lot of conclusive data that they're working enough. Well, they work, but they're not working enough that we wanted to include them in kind of a core 5. The first one is just, social proof and testimonials. Again, more and more so in 2024, people are leaning on reviews and testimonials. So here's the thing, ask for them. If you have a story, if you've promoted something in the past, and you have success stories from your audience, use those. Those are the most powerful. But if not, just ask for them from the affiliate manager. Bonuses. I've done entire episodes on this. They do work. They are less effective in 2024 than they were 3, 4, 5 years ago, and certainly 10 years ago, because they become a bit ubiquitous and overused. And I think if you do it the right way, they work just as well as they did 10 years ago. If you do them the wrong way, they can backfire. That's the biggest change I've seen. So I've done entire episodes on bonuses. Go check those out. And the last one is retargeting. I will tell you, this is small, but it's one of those things that can make the difference in 5 to 10 sales, which oftentimes is the difference between first place and third place. It could be the difference in one promotion that we did. It was the difference between a $30,000 prize and a $5,000 prize. In other words, the 6 sales we made from retargeting didn't just make us $4,800 in commissions. It made us an additional almost $30,000 total. So number 1, retarget your opt-ins. If somebody opts in, if you got that list, go retarget them. Number 2, retarget clicks, because if they clicked, they're a little bit interested. And here's the deal. These ads are so cheap. You might pay $1 a click, and you get 50 clicks. You convert 5 of them. So you paid $50 to make $4,000. It's just like the live chat and other things. The ROI is insane. So there's no reason not to do it. So my challenge to you, in your next affiliate promotion, focus on one of the strategies that I shared in this episode. Number 1, send more emails in the last 48 hours. Aim for 5 to 6 at least. Number 2, write shorter deadline emails. Aim for 100 to 150 words or 50% of your normal length. Number 3, use your opt-in list once the card is open. Ask the affiliate manager if you need to get it from them. Number 4, hyper-target your promotions and allow subscribers to opt out of that specific promotion. And number 5, go the extra mile with one of the 4 strategies I shared. Number 1, call your prospects. Number 2, use live chat. Number 3, create your own pre-launch content. And number 4, create a community. So in total, those are 8 strategies. I just want you to pick one and implement it. So experiment with it, get good at it, then try the next one. I recommend picking the one that appeals to your natural skills. Sounds like the most fun. Don't pick the one, I don't want to get on the call. Gosh, that sounds so challenging. Well, then don't do it. If you like talking on the phone, pick that one though. If you like building Facebook groups, pick that one. If you love writing emails and want to get better at that, try the first one. then move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. Before you know it, you'll be converting at crazy high rates and dominating affiliate competitions. If you have questions about this episode or anything affiliate marketing, affiliate management related, you can text me anytime, 260-217-4619. Don't hesitate to reach out, 260-217-4619. And if you haven't yet, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. Next episode, we're going to talk about what to do if you've got a low price product. So if you've got more like a commodity type product, $10, $20, $30 product, what do you do? I'm going to share how to run an affiliate program for that low price product. There's a lot of obstacles. The margins are usually tiny. The commissions are minuscule. Competition is usually rampant, but it is totally possible. I've done it, and I know many others who've done it. You can do it if you know how. So come back for that episode. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for listening today. Remember to check out all of our deep dives into affiliate marketing at theaffiliateguy.tv. And if you have a question, ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Who knows? Maybe you even be featured on an upcoming episode. And lastly, if you haven't yet, make sure to leave a rating and review wherever you're listening to this episode. See you soon.